Hello, and welcome back to Traversing the Cosmos, the astrology podcast. Today, we're going to have a special episode where I pull some oracle cards for you. We're going to be talking about Taurus season and how each rising sign is going to be approaching Taurus season, or at least how you should be approaching Taurus season, okay? I've got my gene key cards, okay? We're going to be using the Wisdom Keepers Oracle Deck and Inner Guidebook by Rosy Aronson, PhD. And we are going to, we're going to be channeling today. Let's do it. My name is Fola, by the way, in case you didn't know. In case you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, welcome back to any returning friends. All right, first up is going to be my Aries risings. You guys are going to be having a second house transit. The sun is going to be transiting the second house of finances, assets, self-worth, and value. Not only like what you value in yourself, but like what you value outside of yourself. The second house also rules your job, how you make money, how you sustain yourself, your home, where you're comfortable at, what makes you feel at home. And so the card coming up for this is number 26, artfulness. The shadow is pride. The gift is artfulness, and the city is invisibility. The 26th gift celebrates your ego without self-judgment and in full awareness. So it feels to me as though we are finding a sweet spot, Aries. We are learning about integrating our values into our work, learning how to sell a product, how to market ourselves within our own integrity. This is about knowing your power and knowing your worth, knowing exactly what you bring to the table and the full scale, the full scope of what you bring to the table without actually being egotistical about it. It's like, it's giving, if it's true, then am I wrong? You know, like there's an air of, I know this about myself, and you can never take it away from me. Demanding your worth, okay? That means asking for a raise, asking for a promotion. It's leveling up and coming from a solid foundation of understanding. I'm going to read the card to you. It says, I am here to recognize the artfulness in you. I come when it is time for you to market from the heart. What is the essential message you want to share with the world? How does your love long to be expressed? What is the deeper intention behind your offering? When you share a genuine gift with the world, know that you are turning an ability to manipulate out of fear into an ability to manipulate the world into becoming a more caring, inspiring place. Remember that intention and will are not the same thing. Let go of thinking that you can only achieve your goals through willpower or by giving your mind the reins. Half the time, your mind doesn't even know what you want. I am asking you to reach deeper, and while you are reaching, stop judging your pride and ego. Embrace and celebrate them for their ability to make dreams come true. Aries risings, you are leveling up this month. You are doing your thing. And you're understanding how exactly to come from a place of security, from a place of good-heartedness and good intentions. It can be easy for some of you to, just push and push and push to get what you want. And that's not necessarily in an abrasive way, but it's similar to asking for something that you shouldn't be asking for, but you're going to ask anyway because somebody's going to give it to you. That type of pushing. This is a time to redirect that tendency. It's a time to ask for what you need and use what you need, what you get, to do good, to create, to elevate others and yourself. It's time to get clever, Aries, which shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. Taurus risings, you guys are experiencing a first house transit. And so this is dealing with your sense of self. The sun is traveling your first house of the body, of how you see the world, how the world sees you, how you show up. And the card that you got is number 10, naturalness. It's truly a beautiful card. I'm going to have to post the pictures for you in the newsletter section. She is effortless. There's a sense of calm and sereneness about her. But she's still curious and open. The shadow of this gene key is self-obsession. The gift is naturalness, and the city is being. And that is what you're focusing on for this season. How do you exist? You might be doing some soul searching, but make sure that you are taking time to just exist in your skin. And know that you don't have to worry. Just because you can't see the whole big picture doesn't mean that it's not a beautiful painting that you are drawing. The card says, I see you striving to discover who you are, and I know how difficult it can be to answer this deeply human question. While you are searching for yourself, do not forget to enjoy the journey. There will be a time when you can just let it all go. In the end, you are not what you do or what you know. You are not your thoughts, feelings, or beliefs. Nor are you your looks or job description. Over time, as this truth sinks in, and as you stop arguing with your life, you will find yourself becoming more grounded, centered, and full of joy. More yourself, more free and at ease. Whatever is in your heart, whatever you're meant to do or express, will simply arise out of you with naturalness. I am here to remind you that you are far more splendid than your mind could ever grasp, and your authentic nature is destined to bloom and contribute to the magnificent garden of which we are all a part. Graciously take a bow, get out of your own way, and let it happen. Taurus, you are going to have to embrace the ever-changing you, okay? Because it feels like you are being taken for a journey. And you're being ripped off your path, really. But, it's a journey and you can still enjoy it. Yeah, things are about to shift, but you are also going to learn how to completely embrace the raw version of you. You don't have to worry so much. Your path is destined, okay? If nobody has ever told you that, let me tell you, Taurus, it's okay to relax into your ascension. It is okay to melt into your life. Even when things start to shift, even when we get a little uncomfortable, know that you are not meant to work so hard for absolutely everything that comes to you. And that includes figuring out who you really are. It doesn't have to be hard and strenuous and stressful. It can be so much fun to get to know yourself a little bit better. You just have to be open to it. You have to be willing to fully embrace yourself. And I see that for you, Taurus. I do. Next up, Gemini risings. You guys are experiencing a 12th house transit. And this is interesting because the sun is traveling through your 12th house, meaning you're probably going to want to spend more time alone. Okay? The 12th house is the house of isolation. It's also the house of dreams and music and dance. It's the house of how you spiritually connect and the subconscious mind. This is all about the magic you can make by yourself, what you can dream into being, and how you can escape. Now, there's good escapism and then there's bad escapism, you know. But this is the place where both of those things are experienced. You can spend time and get lost meditating, or you can daydream all day and get nothing done. But I'm feeling this power with you, okay? The card that you have is number 51, Initiative. And it's very interesting. The shadow is agitation, the gift is initiative, and the city is awakening. And this gene key is all about going off on your own. It's about doing your own thing and finding out who you are and what actually inspires you. It's about understanding your mortality, so much so that it inspires you to awaken, to take divine action, to tap in, so to speak. And with it being in the 12th house, I feel like you are tapping into your psychic realm. You are taking time to meditate. Maybe you're meditating for a longer period of time. Maybe you are diligently spending time in your journaling or engaging in dream work. The sun is in your 12th house, like I said. So there's also an ending here. The sun has made a full cycle around your personal birth chart. Okay? And now it's doing the final work in the 12th house to end a cycle, close out something. This is the beginning of a rebirth for you. It feels as though there is something that you need to tend to. You need to do some soul searching, some deep diving in order to start fresh. And it's going to happen whether you work very hard on it or not. The realizations are going to come. But I would say, spend some time getting to know yourself a little bit better, your inner processes, and make sure that you are doing what you want and that it's what your soul wants too. This card says, I am not here to lead you. I am here to initiate you. It is time to step off the beaten track, release everything you've ever been taught, and embrace an entirely new way of being. Though you may stand upon the shoulders of others, in the end, only you can take the leap. There is no safety net, no way to avoid fear. If you want to transcend fear, move through it. Honor your creative impulses wherever they take you. Let your awe-filled heart lead you back to your own heart. Good fortune is inevitable when you trust the love inside of you. If you do need to compete, do not compete with others. Funnel your competitive urges into your own creativity. And soon you will find competition replaced by deeply fulfilling collaboration. Alone time is key, Gemini. Give yourself ample time to fall in love with yourself. Become your own best friend. Find out more about the things that you fear and how they may have been holding you back. And then face them head on. You're about to start your new year again, right after this season. So take this time to properly close it out, this revolution around the sun. Take some initiative. Up next is Cancer risings. You guys are having an 11th house transit, and the sun tapping into your 11th house, So when the sun is in the 11th house in general, it kind of is in an uncomfortable space. It doesn't like to be here. It's opposite of where it's used to being. Saturn rules this house. The sun kind of gets burned in Saturn's house. So it can be a lot of energy. It can make us a little uncomfortable. But we can also be doing the things that we like to do, working the rooms that we want to be in. There's plenty of opportunity during this time, but it can easily burn you out. Okay, so that's the first thing that I am picking up with this energy. And you guys are Cancer rising, so you're very susceptible to energy. So just beware of that. Just make sure that you are balancing your life, balancing your groups and all the things that you say yes to. So your card is number 35, Adventure. The shadow is Hunger. The gift is Adventure. And the city is Boundlessness. Oh, yeah. Make sure you are taking care of your reserves, Cancers. It's wonderful to be in the spotlight, to be doing the things, getting your recognition, hanging out with all your friends. But how you show up to these places matters, okay? You cannot be showing up cranky and crabby, all right? It's going to taint your experiences. So make sure, like I said before, you are tending to your own personal fire, your inner fire. The card says, I come to make sure that the progress of your outer life isn't happening at the expense of your inner life. You will never solve your problems by stuffing yourself with experiences, people, or objects, nor will you solve your problems by starving yourself. It is time to face the hunger inside of you with humility. Allow yourself to see and feel how you are held hostage by it, and how so many, if not all, of your actions arise out of this insatiable craving. Only then will you begin to feel and experience the freedom you truly seek. It is time to give unconditionally, for unconditional giving is the path to freedom, joy, and boundless adventure. Look out at the horizon and ask yourself, what more can I give? Ooh, okay. So I also want to add, because I'm standing by it, do not burn yourself out, okay? You got to give to yourself. But as a Cancer, if you are fully fed, then you automatically give to others. You're automatically taking care of others. So I don't know if that's something that really needs to be worried about. But I will say the 11th house is the house of Aquarius. And Aquarius is the water bearer. He thinks about the masses and tends to, put the self in the back of the line. I'm saying that as an air sign, that may work out fine, but even Aquariuses have to go through their own realizations of their patterns. For a Cancer rising, that is not going to work out. You are not going to be able to take care of everybody before yourself, but you should think about everybody and yourself. If you are doing for others, which you should be, I think that that's the time for this, is during Taurus season, you have to make sure that you're giving to yourself too. You have to make sure that you are not becoming Cinderella, taking care of everybody else with, ashes on her nose. Or ash. You know what I'm talking about. And for my Cancer risings, anything that you do, you infuse the energy of where you are at into those things. So if you are feeling depleted, That's the energy you're transferring into the actions, the good deeds that you are doing, the parties that you are throwing, the networking that you are doing, the connections that you are making. They need to start on a steady foundation. Not a thirsty one, okay? Not a parched one. So just keep that in mind. Next on the docket is my Leo risings. All right, Leos, you are having a 10th house transit. And this is a pretty big one. This is your life path, your career path. This is the house of what you are known for, what people remember you for. And that can be pretty intense. With Taurus ruling this house for you, it means it is something that you have spent a lot of time on, steadily, slowly building your credibility, building your name or your business. It means this has been a long journey for you, and it means so much to you. And as with any journey, there are phases, it feels like this phase is a check-in phase. It's how are we doing? What are we doing? What are we dedicated to? And what is motivating us? There's a lot of activity happening for this season, and in your house of life path and career, you are going to have to make some hard choices. And, maybe they're not so hard for some. Maybe they're just, luck of the draw or whatever. Maybe they're easier, but they're going to be important. And you want to make sure that you are checked in with your intentions, with where you want to go, with what you want to be, and what you want your time on this earth to stand for. It sounds like a lot, I know, but we got Jupiter and Uranus conjuncting, okay? It's a lot going on. Your card is number 34, Strength. The shadow is Force. The gift is Strength, and the city is Majesty. It says we are talking about the ability to act in harmony with natural forces, the real definition of strength. We want to make sure that we are not pushing so hard that we push things away. We want to make sure that we are balancing out our masculine and feminine forces. Understanding when it is time to take charge, when it is time to sit back and receive, to allow. The card says, I come to acknowledge your strength and to ask you to purify your heart by liberating yourself from the war in your mind. Be careful not to mistake the people around you for your enemies. Your true enemies are your own misguided thoughts, your reactive emotions, and everything in you that wrestles you away from the present moment. It's time to stop trying to force things to go a certain way just because your mind tells you so. Stay open to outside influence. Keep tuning into the natural world around you. Listen for the flow of life and you shall tap into it. There is an inexhaustible reserve of inner strength deep in your belly. It is greater than you can possibly imagine. The tides are turning, Leo. They are shifting. And sooner than later, you are going to have to shift with them. And now, here's the question. What is unshiftable? That's what matters the most. What is at the core of all of this? And that's what you stick to. You stick to your principles and allow everything else to be adjustable. Go with the flow. I know that that is really hard to say in your career. We live in a capitalistic world, but sometimes you just have to trust that The universe will send you signs. You just have to be willing to listen and take its advice. Virgo risings. All right, the sun is going to be transiting your 9th house of wisdom, spirituality, higher education, traveling, philosophy. This is interesting. It feels like, Virgo, you are being asked to take a leap. As a Virgo, what you can do is do the studying thing. You can take in as much information as you possibly can. You can plan for any contingencies or any things that might go wrong. But at the end of the day, you're still harnessing the information from other people. And it feels like this shift is necessary because it's forcing you to tap into your own inner wisdom. It's wonderful to be well-read and learned, but street smarts, I mean, it's still one of the most important smarts you could have, okay? It's being able to follow your intuition. It's being able to put 2 and 2 together, being able to go off on your own. 9th house is, well, it's the opposite of the 3rd house. The 3rd house is student-teacher relationship. The 3rd house is I am learning. This is how I communicate. The 9th house is I am taking all of the things that I've gathered, my experience as well, and I am envisioning this world. I am knowing and coming to my own knowing of my beliefs, my philosophies, anything that I've studied. It feels like instead of studying for a test, you are writing your own novel on whatever subject it is, okay? It's like the student becoming the teacher. And that can be kind of scary. You know, I know that there are plenty of people who are what they call career schoolers or like lifetime schoolers or something like that, where they just keep going back and keep going back, keep going back. And in my opinion, it's because there's a safeness to absorbing information, to never being fully ready. You know, it's the, all right, we're doing this part, that's the hardest part. It is easier to be a student of life. But now you have to graduate. Now you have to use your knowledge to navigate the world. And that means learning to trust yourself and your instincts. Learning to trust your body and how it feels. I didn't even tell you your card yet. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I got a little carried away, but anyway, your card, your gene key is number 62, precision, which I think is so perfect for my Virgo risings. If you know, you know. The shadow is intellect. The gift is precision, and the city is impeccability. Intelligence is of the heart, whereas intellect is of the mind. The card says, I want you to know the difference between the intellect and true intelligence. The intellect is your mind's ability to think, gather facts, and manipulate knowledge through language. It is wonderful, but limited. The more intellectual you are, the less true intelligence you use. The next time you look around you, look with your whole heart. Take in the essence of our mysterious world deep into your soul, and you will begin to taste true intelligence. From this place, you will care less about potential humiliation and more about speaking, writing, and inventing with love. In the language of simplicity, you will become an embodiment of precision and transform the world. It feels to me, Virgos, that you are working on your need to be perfect, your need to be prepared, your need to know everything, your need to not be ready. But you are ready. You are. This is an impasse. And something tells me that on the other side, you're going to find a much bolder, carefree version of yourself. So good luck. Libra risings, you guys are next, and you are experiencing an 8th house transit. And the South Node is in your 1st house. Okay, so I'm going to keep that energy in mind. The 8th house is the house of taboo things, the things that people don't talk about, the things that we keep secret. It's the house of joint assets and joint ventures. It is the house of sexuality and power dynamics. I have no doubt that you're going to be digging deep this season, okay? It is going to trigger you a little bit, but listen, you've got some stuff to really bury, honestly. You've got some demons to bury. The South Node being in your 1st house means you are shedding literally how you have shown up. The way that you've been going through life, moving through life, it is going through a full reboot. And this 8th house is deeply connected to that because it is the house of death and transformation. This is where you derive your power. This is where you go deep and investigate your inner being. What makes you feel a certain way? How do you derive true power of your own volition? Need I say it's going to be intense? Okay, your gene key is number 61, and it is inspiration. The shadow is psychosis, the gift is inspiration, and the city is sanctity. Creativity is the single most important gift for drawing humanity out of its mass psychosis. Ooh. I come to say that you cannot force or predict inspiration. The muse appears on her own terms, in her own timing. She enters your life as a pressure, beckoning you into the unknown, calling you inwards and back into your origins. She is not always fun and games. Sometimes she comes to dismantle your way of thinking and shake up your entire grasp of reality and your ability to love. To welcome her into your life, you must practice immense patience and trust. Be willing to receive your inner secrets, truth, and the mystery that is all around you. Even when you can't feel her, know that she is working behind the scenes. Don't look for spirit outside of yourself. Be spirit. Yeah, be spirit. Take your power back. Realize that the only thing stopping you from being all-powerful are the things that you fear. And if you face them, once you get to know what makes your heart jump, the bumps in the night that make you go, ugh, once they don't even rattle you anymore, once you have decided to love yourself unconditionally and be your own biggest cheerleader, admit your secrets to yourself. Death and rebirth are one and the same. Having this old version of you die out because you are no longer afraid of it, because you are no longer afraid of your own power. It creates instantaneously this new you. You know why? Because it's the same body. It's just a totally different person. You can decide at any moment that you are going to reclaim your power. And Taurus season is going to help you do that. It's going to help you find some inspiration. Scorpio risings, you guys are experiencing a 7th house transit. The sun is going to be moving through your 7th house, but you're also going to have a full moon lighting up your 1st house of self. 7th house of relationships versus 1st house of self. It's going to get a little emotional, Scorpio. I'm not going to lie. You're going to be feeling all of the things because what's going on is affecting your direct relationships. It's affecting how you see the world. It's affecting how people see you and your relationship to others. And Scorpio, your relationships mean the world to you. And things are going through turbulence. But guess what? Not for nothing. There is always a way to gain from your experiences. And I think this is the time where you need to find that. Whether it is just from your own personal growth, doing the work, as they say, or whether or not it's, writing a song, Risa T saying it and telling your story on TikTok. There are so many ways to experience the lessons, experience the journey, and to be weaving this web with it. It feels like it's giving spider energy. It feels like you are going through a lot, but through your experiences, you're able to create this tapestry. You're allowing your relationships to feed your creativity. And I love that for you. The card that you have is number 64, Imagination. The shadow is confusion, the gift is imagination, and the city is illumination. And the gist of this card is kind of to allow the mysteries of the world to exist without letting them hold you back. It's about experiencing life fully and wholly. It says, if you allow your pain or the world pain to be expressed through an artistic process, you will see alchemy in progress. It's transmutation. Yes. Like I said, it's like vulture energy. Nothing is wasted. It says, I come to set your imagination free. But first, you must bless your pain and confusion with the gift of your awareness. In the presence of confusion, there is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to figure out. Confusion is a totally natural human state. It is actually holy ground. So taste it, embrace it. But do not try to change it, interpret, or get rid of it. As soon as you remember that you are not your confusion, its diamond nature will emerge from the coal, and your imagination will be released so that you can give expression to your pain and inner demons through a fulfilling process of creativity. Whether you're expressing with a paintbrush or a pen, be honest, courageous, illogical, and wild. Go where no one else has gone before. It is time to make something of your experiences. Make it work for you. Have something that you can be proud of, that you can point to as the diamond that you made from the pressure you experienced. Sagittarius risings. You are experiencing a 6th house transit. And the 6th house rules your health habits, your daily habits, your work, what you do every single day, your routines and stuff. And with Taurus in this energy, it means that you are somebody who is very dedicated and stable and steady when it comes to their health. And also when it comes to being an employee, you are tried and true. You show up, you may be there to just get your check, but check you get. You do your work, check you get. And And I feel like there is something being unearthed with Uranus coming in. It feels like your habits have to change. Your work environment may need to change. Hell, I mean, you may be getting onto like a workout regimen, or you may be setting one down. There's a total and utter shift happening here, and it's moving you towards a greater sense of freedom. Yeah, you don't have to be so loyal all the time. You don't have to be the person that everyone depends on, especially at work. You don't have to be so rigid. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. So your card is Gene Key number 39, Dynamism. The shadow is provocation, the gift is dynamism, and the city is liberation. Freedom. It says, if you do what you truly love, you will unleash your creative dynamism. And the more creative you are, the more energy becomes available to you. I come to tell you that it doesn't matter how bad your upbringing was. All unhealthy conditioning can be reversed. You can contribute to the field of violence in our world by provoking others or allowing yourself to be provoked. Oh, avoid fights at work, please. Avoid fights at work. Stand your ground, but, prioritize what's important. Okay? Or you can explore your passions and unleash your dynamism, your genius, by simply letting yourself be and play. Yeah, honestly, this might even have to do with, like, if you get into it with your boss, please. I mean, yeah, sure, they're technically your boss, but they're still just another human being. You don't have to take it to heart or even give a shit at all, okay? You can just continue to live your happy life. Unless they are literally making your life miserable, try to focus on yourself and forget about the haters, okay? All right, where was I? By simply letting yourself be and play. Remember, genius isn't unusual. It has nothing to do with knowledge or with the mind. It arises the moment you allow yourself to do what you love. It is time for you to allow your horizons and breath to expand. If you provoke anything in people, may it be their creative spark and a deep sense of liberation. Yeah, listen, you guys might be switching up the old job, and that's okay. Fly free, Saggies. Fly free. Invest yourself in what matters to you. Don't stay someplace or continue to do something because it's a habit or because you feel loyalty to somebody else or to a company or, because you are looking at your bank account and you are loyal to your bank account. You must love what you do. Period. End of sentence. So if that is not the case for you, time to shift. Time to change it up. Uranus will not allow you to continue down this track. You know what I mean. You shall not pass. All right, Sagittarius. Good luck. Capricorn, you are having a 5th house transit. The sun in Taurus is going to be traveling through your 5th house of creativity and fun and childhood memories and childlike energy, dating, and I guess creative pursuits in general. It rules children. And this is an interesting energy because this is a very stable energy to be in such it's the house of Leo originally. So it's a fire sign house and you've got Earth here. And so for me, it feels like there is a shakeup happening in your ability to put yourself out there. In your creative pursuits, in your dating life, there is a need to have some fun, to let loose, to let go of your past hurts, to be fully open, and to come from a place of true authenticity, of true kindness and creativity, and not from a place of pushing forward, not from a place of this is how things have always been, not from a place of codependency where you're just going along because you want to have success or a partner or something. It's time to put your heart back into it. It's time to really dedicate yourself to something because you believe in it. Invest in your creative outlets. Invest in yourself. Spend time with children. Get to know how they act and how real they are, okay? Before they get programmed by the world, which happens really young now. Spending time with children will allow your guard to just completely break down. You're like, I mean, if this human soul can just be itself, then why the fuck can't I? If this human soul says what it wants, when it wants, goes to play, and will spend so much time just delving through its own imaginative spirit. Kids have no problem having fun all by themselves and making shit up. And when it comes to dating, I'll just say this. It should be fun for both parties. It shouldn't be some game of manipulation and I'll text you and you text this and, oh, I'm going to leave them on red and all this other, just, like there's like the rules of engagement. And all of that is nonsense, okay? I just want to say that because there is an energy to be codependent in this dating realm. Okay, in the 5th house. And what I have to say is that you need to be coming from a place of wholeness. You should not be dating if you know there are severe insecurities penetrating your ability to exhibit strength. And when you are ready to date, you need to make sure you are able to be honest and forthcoming and accepting of good treatment and nothing less than that. Keep it light, keep it fun, and keep it balanced. Your card is Gene Key number 19, sensitivity. The shadow is codependence. The gift is sensitivity, and the city is sacrifice. The gift of sensitivity is about being highly attuned to the needs of others. In order to sense others and their needs, you must first become independent from them. Now, that goes for children too, okay? Sometimes, as parents, we also need to step back. I say we, I'm not a parent, but sometimes it is okay to take a step back and put ourselves first and allow simultaneously children to do life. To pick themselves up. You're never too far away, but you don't have to be towering over, all right? This card says, I am here to celebrate your sensitivity and all of the ways that you are attuned to the feelings and needs of the people in your life. Being of service is a wonderful thing. That said, when you offer your support, make sure that you are coming from a good place. Make sure you are happy with your own life and that you are not just trying to get your own needs met by meeting the needs of others. I can guarantee you, people can smell hidden agendas. If you are isolating yourself because of hurt feelings, it's time to reach out for support. Your heart is too big and beautiful to close off for too long. Capricorn, some of you are learning how to put the spark back into your life. Bringing the heart back in to your awareness. And you're already very responsible, so you may end up taking care of people everywhere you go. But know that people needing you doesn't have anything to do with your worthiness. Your worthiness already exists. You can say no to people. You can put yourself first. You can isolate yourself if you want, and still be a great human being, still be a person worthy of people's time and effort and love. All right, Aquarius risings, it is your turn. You are having a fourth house transit. The sun is transiting your fourth house. The moon is going to be, that full moon in Scorpio is going to be in your 10th house. This energy is very invasive. You're dealing with the fourth house of home, of childhood memories, of what you've always known, of the mother, of the things that are nostalgic to you. And with Uranus coming in and shaking things up and doing some damage, it may force you to have to adapt. You may have to really take a look at some things. You may have to relinquish some of the things that you hold on to. And once again, this is the fourth house, but it's your fourth house that is ruled by Taurus. So there is a double down, okay? Cancer and Taurus are like, leave me at home. I'm staying at home, okay? I don't care. My home is where my heart is. And these things that I've had in my life that have been a staple in my life the whole time, I'm not giving them up. And so this is going to be a little rough, okay? It's going to require you to surrender. It is going to require you to get creative. You will have to let some things go. Your card, the gene key that you're going to be working with, is number 24, invention. The shadow is addiction. The gift is invention, and the city is silence. The 24th gift is truly magical and contains the secret to genius. Genius is far more than lateral thinking. It is the ability to make quantum leaps. You are making a quantum leap in your house of childhood, in your house of home, with a parent, with an old friend. The card says, I am here to tell you that addiction is not only about what you do, but how you think. And especially how you think during those moments in your life where you bump up against the unknown, your own ignorance, a deafening silence, and an inner emptiness. There are whole worlds of possibility in the space between thoughts, sounds, even between your impulses and cravings. One of the most difficult yet most rewarding things you can do in life is to embrace those gaps in your awareness. Don't push away your anxiety. Don't fill in those holes. As you make peace with emptiness and befriend uncertainty, your talent for invention, creative thinking, and living will flourish. This is giving Lover's card energy. You are meeting the underbelly. You're getting acquainted with a part of yourself that has probably been making a lot of decisions for you. And you are taking your power back. Doing that by acknowledging where you give your power away. And once you acknowledge that, it will be all the more easy for you to reinvent, get creative, do something different, and have fun creating new memories. All right, last but certainly not least, it's my Pisces risings. Woo, woo. Shout out to the Pisces risings. And we are going through a third house transit, okay? Third house of communication, of education, of immediate environment, brothers and sisters, neighbors. It's the house of Gemini. And what I'm getting from this is that there is a tendency to get distracted. As Pisces risings, there is a tendency to get distracted just in our natural way of being. But with the Gemini energy ruling over the third house, this being the house of communication, even though we do have Taurus ruling this house, it feels as though there is a flakiness It feels as though there is a need to redefine what we are investing in and why we're investing in that, what we are reading, what we are taking in, what we are speaking about, how we are speaking about things. Any writing projects that you have started, papers, anything, poetry, any form of communication needs to be reevaluated because it feels as though there is something important that needs to be done, but because there is a lack of motivation, it's not getting done. Okay. The card that you have, the gene key that you have, is number 29, commitment. The shadow is half-heartedness, the gift is commitment, and the city is devotion. And the message of this card is when you are all in on something, when you are so excited about doing something, it brings you that much joy, it is no biggie to devote yourself. But when you are just showing up to show up, when you are just continuing with the same ideas, the same train of thought, because it's what you're used to, which is where that Taurus energy likes to express itself. It is comfortable repeating the same things, watching the same movie, eating the same sandwich. And that also can perpetuate when it comes to learning, when it comes to expressing your ideas. It can be all the same note, one note. And it can be harder for third house, that energy, to be ruled by Taurus because there is essentially a gate, a wall. I'm only willing to go this far. That is what the bull is saying, is I move when I want to move. You can present me with all kinds of information. I don't have to see it until I want to acknowledge it. So there is this push and pull happening in this third house of information coming to light and whether or not you actually let it penetrate your psyche. Commitment is about doing just that, making a decision and sticking with it. But it needs to come from the heart. It needs to come from an open place, a loving place. Otherwise, it is just stubbornness. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? We are looking for the beautiful, gracious side of Taurus, which is commitment in our third house of communication. We are looking to shed the immovable side of Taurus, which is stubbornness, in our third house of communication. A clear decision is felt as quiet and powerful warmth that courses through your whole being. Follow your heart. This card says, I am here to give you permission to say yes to life, to trust it fully. It is time to hold nothing back. Don't worry about what others think or expect from you. Beware of giving your power away to a teacher, guru, or a system. Fly brave and blind as you embark on your path. And remember, few things are less healthy for you than half-heartedness. So whether you are succeeding or failing, do it with a full heart. Stand by your decisions. Trust your in-the-moment guidance. Honor the stream of your experiences and relationships until each cycle reaches its natural completion. Do these things, and there will be no need to worry about the future, for the seed of your dreams lives in the heart of your commitment. It's all about the journey. Being committed to yourself and not to a tangible outcome. Being committed to spreading a message, to sharing a word, and not to how people receive it. This is going to stir some shit up, Pisces. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. Yeah. When you are communicating, when you are engaging with others, even when you're listening, try to dig into the heart of the matter. Try to take yourself out of what you don't like and just simply follow what you do. Follow the thing that lights you up. Don't get stuck anywhere. Like I said, third house also rules like short distance travels. It's your immediate environment, your neighborhood. And so you may also be trying to go somewhere further, take a trip somewhere. And it may not be received well. And that's okay. Because you know what? You are not dedicated to what people think about you, right? You are dedicated to your life enrichment, your life experiences, your open-heartedness. You are dedicated to devotion, devoting yourself to your own life, to your own fulfillment. Do the thing that makes you happy, and do it just because it makes you happy. Commit to that feeling. All right. Thank you so much. This was the longest episode that we've ever had, and hopefully there's more to come. I like a nice hour. We're a little over that right now, but I love a nice hour. I appreciate you. If I have anybody else who's here besides the Pisces risings, you're a rock star, and I appreciate you. You're literally the best. Thanks for listening to all the readings. But also, if I just have my Pisces risings here, it's okay. It feels like an intimate setting. Bless you all. That's what I have. Bless you all. Good luck during this Taurus season. The magic will be undeniable. You will see it. It will be tangible. And I love that for us. It's going to be a journey. It feels like we stepped through a portal somewhere back in March, and we are only moving forward, gaining momentum, gaining speed, gaining abilities, the things that we need to take with us. So, yeah, I will see you during the regular episodes. We will be back to diligently break down the energies 1 week at a time of this Taurus season. Until next time. Oh, and don't forget, you belong. Bye. Bye now.